Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today, we're going to review the Megir M2182. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing a Pagani Design PD 1727, and Grogo is wearing my Kern 8439. Grogo said that they have a new student at the Jedi Academy. He is of a race of sentient platypuses. I asked him if he thought he was a good addition to the academy. He said no. He is a very boring conversationalist. He's always speaking in platitudes. All right, let's take a look at the watch. It did not come in a box. I could have got a box for an extra $2, and personally, I'd rather have an extra $2 than the box they would have sent me this in. But here it is. This is obviously an homage to a Tag Heuer Monaco. This is the fourth Megir on my channel. This is an homage to the Tag Heuer Monaco, which was made famous by Steve McQueen in the movie Formula One. For some reason, the tag isn't nicknamed to Steve McQueen, as that honor is reserved for a Rolex that McQueen never actually wore. There is no watch nickname authority to appeal that decision. Unlike the automatic Monaco, this Megir is quartz and a small second chronograph at that. I often complain about small second chronos as they are only useful for timing how long your child can hold their breath in the pool, but that is just the reality of watches in this price range. At least, unlike that Playdin I had recently, the pushers actually work. This watch comes in either blue or black, and you have the option of a bracelet or a strap. I chose a strap because racing-themed watches just belong on a rally strap. For review purposes, I should have got the bracelet just so I could let you know if it is any good or not, but that ship has sailed. The watch is 43.3 millimeters wide. It looks a lot bigger than that, though, because there's no timing bezel or anything, so the dial is really big, too. 52 millimeters lug to lug, 11.5 millimeters thick, has a 24 millimeter lug width, and weighs 80 grams on the supplied strap. I don't know if it's real leather or not. It doesn't say genuine leather. The bezel is square, and it has some pretty coarse brushing on the surface. Of course, this is a chrome-plated alloy and not steel, so they probably brushed it, then plated it. Then we have the dial. We have a inner dial with this texture and an outer dial that's smooth with a sunburst effect. Then we have the Megir name up top, and it says Chronograph. And the bottom, it says dual time. I don't know why it says dual time, because this is not a dual time watch. So I don't know if the real Tag Heuer is a dual time. I don't think so. Then we have stick hands, and they're loomed. And then we have a running second hand that is not loomed. And then we have the subdials. The subdial on the right is the 24-hour indicator, pretty much useless subdial. And on the left is the minute counter for the chronograph. And on the bottom is the chronograph second hand. And it's a small second hand, so once again, it's not that useful. Here, let me get the minute hand out of the way so you can see it better. And then also we have a date at the 6. And that's Tag Heuer style, where it takes up room of the bottom subdial. But I think it's nice to have a date at the 6 rather than the 430. Just looks a little bit nicer. Then we have a unsigned push-pull crown. You don't get screw down with only 30 meters of water resistance. Let's see if the crown action is any good. Can I push it in without the minute hand jumping? You can, as long as you hold it. If you hold it and push it in, it won't jump. But if you go to push it in without holding it, it's loose enough that it's going to move on you. Not so much jump, but just move. And then we have the pushers. The pushers are not screw down. They don't screw down on a real Monaco either, so that's fine. Go to press the top one. It starts the chronograph. And it's really hard to see the chronograph hand, though, on the blue background. It would have been nicer. I know the real tag doesn't have a white background on on the chronograph dial either, but it's really hard to see that hand. Press it again to stop, and press it again to, you get a fast rewind and not an instant snapback, because this is not a Megi Quartz. Pushers, they're little, they don't click or anything when you push them, and you don't feel a lot of, it doesn't go in a lot, so they're kind of, the pusher action isn't very good, but once again, you're never going to use this chronograph. But it's at least nice that they work, unlike that plated. Then the case, we have a chrome plated alloy, and it's a big case. It's not too thick considering how big the watch is. 11.5 is kind of thick for quartz, but this watch is so huge it doesn't look too thick. Then the crystal, we have a flat mineral glass, and you can see through it just fine. Case back suppress on. Says stainless steel back, which is a good tell that the rest is not. It says water resistant, which means you only get 30. And then it gives the model number. Then underneath the case back, I don't know the movement. I'm sure it's Chinese, it's quartz, and it's very affordable. The strap, we have a 24mm rally strap. I don't know if it's real leather or not. It doesn't say genuine leather. It doesn't say in the ad either. If it is synthetic leather, it feels like it's good synthetic leather. It's thick and sturdy, and it does look like it needs a little bit of break-in period. But I like the looks of the strap. I think it's a good-looking strap. And I prefer the look of it on the strap than on the bracelet. I think it just looks so much... A Monaco just belongs on a rally strap. Then the buckle is signed, and it's very sturdy. I like the buckle. And then we have the keepers, one fixed and one floating, and they do the job. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. As you can see, this is a big watch. I can just barely pull it off. If my wrist was any smaller, there'd be some overhang. And look at the notches. I have 4 going out, but only 2 going in. So if my wrist was much smaller than 7, I'd have to be poking holes in this. But it will do an 8.5, no problem. And this is a 24mm leg width though. So if you don't want the stock strap, you probably don't have a 24mm lying around, so you'll have to order one. Here we are in the loom room. Only the major hands are loomed, and wearing the watch didn't give me any indication that it was going to be anything special. As we speed up the time, we see that it isn't god-awful, but it isn't exactly good either. It is fading fairly fast and will soon be completely gone. But then again, this is a sub-$20 non-diver. What do I like about this watch? Well, I like this rally strap and buckle. I think they did a good job with the strap. I like the fact that it has a 6 o'clock date. And I do like this blue watch with orange accent. I think it's attractive. What are my gripes and groans? The watch is cartoonishly big. It just seems out of proportion. It has a small second chronograph, so the chronograph's not much use. And you have to be really careful setting it. Do I recommend this watch? Only if you have a big wrist and don't mind a huge watch. If it was a 40mm with a 22mm strap, I would recommend it no problem. Squares are already bigger than rounds, and this doesn't have a timing bezel or anything, so the dial just looks huge. And I just can't get over the out of proportion look. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Megir M2182, homage to Tag Heuer Monaco. And I will be back with another review. It's going to be a while before I have an unboxing. I've ordered some stuff on the big AliExpress sale, but I just ordered it. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.